What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 12 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. For one last time, we are using this Yveldon team that I had used to finish in second place at the Skydrop, which was a local tournament in my area. We had a lot of fun with it yesterday, and I'm hoping to kind of keep that success going today. So looking at my opponent's first team, it is going to be a Kyogre with Solgaleo. So it's Solgaleo, Kyogre, sorry, Incineroar, Rillaboom, with a Corviknight as well as a Porygon 2. So I actually really like Regieleki here. I think Regieleki just offers a ton of utility. I think between Yveltal, Regieleki, I think we're in sort of a very strong position. I think we do want Groudon to maintain sort of that weather control. And I think we might need Bronzong here. Bronzong is very good into Solgaleo. It can do well into Incin and Rillaboom, also into Porygon 2, which can sometimes be an issue. So I'm going to bring Bronzong in the back. We haven't really had a chance to use Bronzong too much, so I'm hoping for that. And also, while you're here, like, make sure to subscribe. We are working our way towards 1 billion subscribers, and we really can't get there without you. Also, YouTube is telling me that 70% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, and I'd really, really like to get that number as low as possible, and the only way we can get there is by having more people subscribe. So looking at my opponent's lead, right, it is going to be a Porygon 2 with a Kyogre. So I immediately like the idea of going for a Snarl as well as a Volt Switch. The main sort of idea with that is I want to get Bronzong in pretty safely. I'm going to go for a Snarl here as well as a Volt Switch. I don't really see you staying. I mean, you could Protect with Kyogre. I think we're going to actually see no Protect. So really not what I was expecting at all. So being able to just sort of pop right out. I think in this case, probably want to bring out Groudon just because Groudon does offer sort of more of an immediate pressure. Also, once again, definitely make sure to appreciate Groudon, the vintage beauty, because of how ugly that shiny is. But with the Snarl and the Sun and the damage from Volt Switch, right? Like we really are going to be neutralizing how much this Kyogre is going to be able to do. And immediately, right, we have sort of neutralized an opponent's potential max option, as we are going to see just an Origin Pulse. And let's see really how much this is going to do in the Sun at -1. Yeah, like, look at that damage onto Yveltal doing almost nothing as the Trick Room going to come up here. I think at this point we can... I think Yveltal for now has done its job. I really want to bring out Bronzong and go for a Precipice Blades. I think if we can get rid of that Ogre right off the bat, right, like, we are just, like, in such a primed position to win, especially with Bronzong, right? We can start setting up those body presses and going from there. So taking advantage of that -1 to really sort of save us some damage, as we are going to see the Foul Play come out, right? It is going to do a little bit more than I would have liked, as an Ice Beam is going to come out here. So definitely a little bit scary. We are going to be able to just barely survive. That is going to proc the Citrus Berry. And at this point, right, like, we can go for, hopefully the Precipice Blades double connects. We are going to miss, unfortunately, and unfortunately it's on the wrong target. So Porygon 2 is going to be able to take that. I think an Iron Defense here, as well as just going for a Protect, is going to be really important here. And then what I think we can do is we can go for potentially a Quake if we need to. But I don't necessarily see a need to go for that. We can really just start setting up these Iron Defenses. I don't really see a good counterplay, especially with the Sun up, right? As Eerie Impulse going to come out into Bronzong, I don't really care at all. Right, like, what are you going to do? Make it so my body press is still gonna hit really hard. I would like to set up another one just because we have the opportunity, and I think it's worth switching out into Yveltal here. My opponent really sort of putting their Kyogre in a position where it's not going to do much, and they don't really have anything, I think at this point, that wants to face down a Bronzong, right? Because of the fact that they have Solgaleo, they have Rillaboom, they have Corviknight. We are going to see the Porygon 2 retreat, so I think that's a smart option. It is going to be that Corviknight, so probably trying to match body presses here, and I think what's going to have happen is we're going to have Regieleki come outside of Trick Room, which is fine, right? Because of the fact that we do have access to that max lightning, so feel free to get all the boosts that you really need, in my opinion, because we are going to just be able to sort of match you, and it is going to be awkward with the fact that body press is going to be neutral to both of us, but not too much of a big deal, as we are going to see that do just not that much damage. I actually want to hit a body press onto this Corvignite before it's really able to start. I don't actually care about the Corvignite, so I'm going to body press the Ogre. I would like to Oblivion Wing into the Corvignite, just for some recovery. Like I said, we do have Regieleki, so not super worried about Corvignite as a result, right? Like, what is it really going to do? I don't see it doing much. And just, yeah, we're going to see matching iron defenses, so it is sort of going to be a little bit of an awkward endgame, but I think because of the fact that at this point, right, like their last one is Solgaleo, like what is Solgaleo really going to do? Whereas we have the ability just to sort of heal. I mean, that all things considered, that did a fairly decent chunk into their Corvignite, and so I think I really want to, I definitely want to get Bronzong up to +6, as we are going to see it is going to be a battle of those leftovers, but I think it is, like I said, going to be really important for us to make it so that we can get Regieleki in a position where it can get a knockout. Otherwise, we are going to play that Bronzong versus Corvignite endgame, and I don't really think anyone wants to see that. So, Solgaleo gonna come out here. Is there still Trick Room up? No, there's not Trick Room up. I definitely am going to go for an Iron Defense as well as a Foul Play into the Solgaleo. It is going to definitely trigger a weakness policy, which I expect to see, which, you know, is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I'm guessing that, right, at this point, right, we need to just make it so there is no Trick Room, because Regieleki then can one-shot this Corvignite, and I think between a Foul Play and some body presses, this Solgaleo really isn't going to be doing much. It is just unfortunate, though, that, what's it called? You are going to be faster, or slower, so you are going to get that weakness policy boost, as we are going to see, yeah, the very obvious weakness policy comes out, as it should be a very straightforward Steel Spike, yep, into the Solgaleo, I'm guessing. I mean, not in the Solgaleo, into the Yveltal. We are going to lose our Yveltal, which means that you are able to get your Bronzong just a little bit faster. And so, I mean, not your Bronzong, your Corvignite a little bit bulkier. We should be able to see, yep, another Iron Defense coming out. And so, so I need, okay, so I need my, what's it called? I need my Regieleki for this endgame. So what I'm thinking of doing, right, is, I'm going to bring out Groudon here. I'm going to go for a Protect, just trying to stall out this Solgaleo's max as much as possible, with the idea that Regieleki can come in, and I think if I can get rid of the I just need to get rid of the Corvignite. So I'm at +6 with my Bronzong. I just gonna body press into the Solg and go for a Protect here. I'm hoping that Groudon can survive, what's it called? I'm hoping that Groudon can survive a hit through Protect, which means that I can basically waste the Solgaleo's max, right, in combination of it just going for useless damage and also getting it really low to the point where I can sort of clean up with Bronzong, because I think that that's what's going to be the most important, as I think, yeah, my opponent definitely goes for a really smart, that changes things a lot, because now you're faster than Regieleki. Oh, okay. I still need to body press you and go for a Precipice Blades, but the important thing is so I need what I need to have happen is I need to have Steel Spike into Groudon. That's fine. I need to, oh god, that actually, are we gonna have to play an endgame of body presses? I think we are, and I think they win just due to the fact that they have Roost. We're gonna see the Iron Defense. Cool that they didn't realize how high their defense is. As Solgaleo gonna take a decent chunk here. The issue though, right, is Solgaleo outspeeds my Regieleki. and what's it called? Regieleki is okay. So what I need to do is I need to body press the Solg and go for a protect here. Right? This is okay. This is what I have to do, right? Because I need to get rid of the Solg, right? Perfect. We're gonna see an Earthquake. This means that you're not going for Trick Room. So I can one-shot your Corviknight. We are gonna see the Body Press come out into Bronzong. A battle of +6 defenses, right? Not doing much at all. As Body Press gonna come out onto the Solgaleo. It is going to luckily be enough for a knockout, which means at this point, right, like we can one-shot that Porygon 2 and go for a huge Max Lightning into... Actually, wait, I need to check... If you are... I need to make sure that Corviknight is not going to, like, outspeed me under Trick Room. Because if it does and it one-shots me, that's really bad. Its max speed is 130. Okay, so... there's no chance of this Corviknight being able to outspeed my Regieleki because we are max speed. Yeah, so the max you're going to hit is 260, which is really good for us. So that means that we will definitely be able to fire off this big Max Lightning into this Corviknight. I cannot see it living. It's Stab, super effective, Transistor, Life Orb, base 140 into a non-max Pokemon. Even through Protect, that should just be a pretty clear one-shot. So Corviknight is going to go down here, and at this point, it's just a Porygon 2 versus the world. It should not be able to survive either sort of hit we have coming its way. So I think I can say pretty confidently that we should, you know, barring a secret tech that I don't know about, have this wrapped up. Eerie Impulse going to come out, like, okay, that's fine. This is a +6 body press coming out into your Porygon. I think maybe they thought there was a chance. I guess if I was modest, even though if I was modest, I still would have gone first, so it isn't going to matter. But overall, I think a really good first game. I'm glad that we were able to sort of preserve. I think preserving our max was huge. I think if they had turn 1 protected Kyogre, it would have been a much different game. But the fact that we were able to immediately get so much chip on it meant like it put my opponent in a really awkward position. But like I said, overall, a really solid first game, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is pretty standard Kyogre Zacian with oh, it's actually it's not, it's the Tornadus variant. So it is going to be a Zacian Kyogre with Landorus, Rillaboom, Incineroar, and a Tornadus. So a lot of really sort of different options here. The Tailwind, I think, is definitely something to be respected. I do really like Incin Venusaur as a lead. I think Groudon here is a really good back option, and then I like Bronzong once again. I like Bronzong once again. I think this puts it does make things a little bit tricky with the Yveltal, right? Like Yveltal being able to immediately go for damage can be really scary, and if we can't really pin it, like I said, it makes things very, very tricky. But I do expect to see something like maybe a Landorus, Lando Torn turn 1, or a Kyogre Torn turn 1. As we're going to see, yeah, Lando Torn, I think is sort of what I really expected here. So I very much would like to go for a parting shot into this Landorus that I expect to go for an Airstream and then just pivot out immediately into Bronzong. There's no reason for Venusaur to take unnecessary damage from probably what is most likely going to be a max Airstream, as we are going to see the White Herb revealed. So this is definitely a little bit scary. I'm going to go for the parting shot, as well as, like I said, switch into the Bronzong. If you do decide to go for whatever you decide to go for, right, we do have the ability to theoretically just go for a what's it called, a Trick Room. And I think setting up Trick Room if you have Tailwind up is going to be huge for us, especially versus this Landorus, right, which isn't going to really do anything. I really am, like I said, hoping for an Airstream, right? I could see the double up into the Venusaur with the idea of trying to stop a what's it called, a sleep powder. So if we can sort of get that pivot going and get this Landorus to -2, especially with the Bronzong out, right, like I feel like we will be in really good shape. So we are going to see the taunt come out into the Bronzong. So that's actually a little bit unfortunate. So probably suggesting, yeah, we are going to see the Airstream come out into the Bronzong, doing a little bit more than I would have liked, in all honesty. Right, like I really would have liked it to do a lot less. The taunt also is really scary, as we will just be able to parting shot out into this Landorus and sort of be able to just pivot right back to Venusaur and start going for some boosts, right? Like we can bring out Venusaur here, we can switch right back into Incineroar, start going for body press, right? Like not necessarily the ideal form of damage with no boost, but definitely important. I think I do want to at least break the sash on Torn. So I think, yeah, the revolving door of pivot right back into Incin. Yeah, I can't, unfortunately, we can't because of the taunt. I'm going to go for a body press onto this Torn, just trying to break a sash on it, as we are going to be able to get this Lando back to -2, which is really going to be helpful, right? Like this is my opponent's max. And it did a little bit into my Bronzong. It's probably going to go for damage onto my Incin slot at this point, as we are going to see the taunt, right? So even better, sort of still expecting to see that swap, as we are going to be able to fire off, or as they're going to fire off a max Airstream. So at this point, right, like this is really great, right? Your max is doing no damage at all. Bronzong going to be able to just fire off a body press onto this Torn, doing, you know, more damage than I expected, all things considered. So I think once again we I don't think I can survive a Quake, so I'm gonna switch into Groudon here, and just go for another body press onto this Tornadus. Do I want to do that? Do I want to switch? Yeah, I don't see myself living another. I don't see myself living a Quake, so I'm gonna pop into Groudon and go for a body press onto this Torn. We really want to just make it so my opponent's damage isn't going to do that much. We are going to see the Kyogre come out, so this is really good for us, right? Like we can bring out Groudon and we can hopefully fire off a really big what's it called? A really big Max Quake. Or not even a Max Quake. I probably want to save my Max for Venusaur at this point. But Groudon hopefully is going to take that Max Quake well. I think we can pivot Bronzong into Incin, just trying to sponge up some damage, as we should. Yeah, we're going to see a Max Quake come out into Groudon. Yeah, with all the boosts, right, it really isn't going to be doing much damage at all. So that is really good for us. I think we can probably pretty freely switch out into... I wonder if it's even worth switching out the Groudon at this point, right? Like we have such a commanding position. We have Bronzong without a taunt, so at this point, right, like we can set up an Iron Defense. We can potentially go for damage. I'm gonna go for that as well as an Iron Defense, right? Like I can't see this Kyogre really doing too much, as we are gonna see the obvious swap from Landorus into the Torn. Makes a lot of sense, right? You're trying to set up your Tailwind. We are going to see the Water Spout come out. We should take it reasonably well. That is going to put Groudon into Citrus Berry range, which is going to be huge, as we are going to see the Life Orb reveal on this Kyogre. So definitely a huge source of information there, as we are going to be able to fire off our Precipice Blades. And if we get it into this Ogre, right, it should do just a huge chunk, right? Like almost getting the knockout there. Getting Bronzong up to +4 at this point is really sort of big here. And I think at this point, what I want to do is I want to just knock out this Kyogre, right? Going straight for a body press, even if they want to switch out. I feel really good about things. I do want to protect the slot and then go straight for a body press, right? We still have to be a little bit weary of this Zacian in the back, right? Like Zacian being able to come in and potentially one-shot my Groudon is something we really don't want, as we are going to see the taunt come out. I think that's fine, right? You are just trying to sort of stop me going for anything else, as Ice Beam going to come out here onto the Groudon, and then yeah, this body press going to just come out and very easily finish off this Kyogre. We still have our max, which I think is really important, right? We knocked out one of my opponent's restricteds. We have Bronzong in a pretty decent spot, especially if we can start cycling Intimidates, right? Like, I think you have to bring out Zacian at this point. You could bring out Landorus to try and cycle some Intimidates, as we are going to see. It looks like the Zacian, yeah, the Zacian is going to come out here. That, in my mind, is a free switch into Incineroar, as well as a body press onto Zacian. So, yeah, bring out Incin here. Go for a body press onto the Zacian. I don't really worry about much else at this point, right? Just saying, hey, let's do some damage, right? And so yeah, the Incin being able to drop the attack is huge. We really just want to create a position where Venusaur can finish off really whatever is left. And honestly, if we can win this game without maxing, I think that that's pretty cool. We are going to see the Protect come out, so that is really fine with me, right? We should see a Rain Dance. So Rain Dance definitely going to be a little bit scary, and definitely good tech to know, but I don't think it's the end of the world, right? At this point, I think we can go for a Parting Shot as well. I'm wondering if we're in range of Sacred Sword because of the fact that we're at there's no reason to go for a Parting Shot, in all honesty. We can just go for a Fake Out as well as a Body Press, right? Like, that's totally fine. This does make things a little bit scary with that, what's it called? With that Torn, because of the fact that you have the ability to go for Rain Dance, which means you have 100% accurate Hurricanes. So that can, be a little bit scary for sure. We are just going to be able to fire off a Fake Out for a little bit of chip, and then I'm hoping the extra damage we get will sort of pay off as, Incin going to take quite a bit from that Hurricane. Definitely a little bit scary here as Body Press going to come out. But we've seen 3 of the moves on the Torn, right? We've seen Rain Dance, we've seen Taunt, we've seen Hurricane. We've seen Rain Dance, Taunt, Hurricane, and Tailwind. So we know it's full moveset at this point. I'm just going to click this, and then I'm going to go for a Body Press onto the slot. I don't really have a reason to go for anything else, right? Like, Bronzong at this point is in just a really good spot. We're going to see the Taunt come out. I think I was already taunted, so I don't think it's that big of a deal, as we are going to see the Swords Dance come out. So a little scary for sure, right? Like, Swords Dance being able to let you get set up. So this turn is actually very important, as unfortunately we are going to hit ourselves in our own confusion, which makes things really, really bad, because that Parting Shot would have been huge. But at the same time, like, what is Landorus really going to be doing into my into my Incin? And the Swords Dance reveal suggests to me that you don't have Protect, so I can just keep going for Body Press here. So that sort of, I think, puts us in a good spot, right? Like, you're going to go for a Hurricane onto the Bronzong, probably just going for the confusion. I think that really is sort of your best out at this point, or a Rock Slide Flinch, right? Like, I think that makes sense, as we are going to, we're going to unfortunately lose Incineroar here, and we are going to get the flinch. So that really is going to be an unfortunate little bit. I'm going to bring out Venusaur right now. I think what I need to do is I need to sacrifice the boost on Groudon to get rid of this Landorus, and I'm hoping that they're going to just say, hey, you're gonna stay in. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to switch out into Groudon. We are only at +2, so I don't really mind losing the boost too much, especially if it means being able to one-shot this this Lando. And also what it means, right, is if you are going for Rain Dance to change the weather, you aren't going for a damaging move, so we can theoretically preserve our Sash. So we are going to be able to max. What would be scary is if you went for a Rain Dance and fly. I don't really see, I mean, that could be an option. I think you want to put pressure, though, with the Rock Slide flinches. So I think that really is going to be your best bet. Yeah, I think a combination of Hurricane and Rock Slide. But I mean, okay, perfect. We are going to see just the damage option here, as we are going to be able to one-shot this this Landorus pretty effectively. That is going to get us a lot of chip onto Torn, as Hurricane is going to connect. doing a lot more damage than I would have liked, in all honesty. That is a really aggressive sort of Tornadus that we are seeing. And so at this point, right, we're in a really tricky spot because of the fact that you can, what's it called? You can just go for a Hurricane as well as a Behemoth Blade. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go for the max guard. I'm going to double max guard. You have to hit a Hurricane. So I'm going to actually go for the Flare and go for the Precipice Blades. I can't really see Torn beating my... Okay, so yeah, we are going to see the Rain Dance. So this suggests to me you are just going to try to KO my... probably my Groudon, if I had to guess. We should see, yeah, the Behemoth Blade going to come out here onto my... onto the Groudon, just trying to... I think that makes the most sense. We should hopefully get enough damage onto you with this hit that we can KO you with 2 turns of Vine Lash. So how much damage is it going to do? Not enough, unfortunately. That Vine Lash damage going to do a solid chunk onto both. I think what we want to do now is go for the double protect, just trying to get a little bit of extra damage and also a little bit of extra recovery onto Bronzong. As right, your play is very much to go for a Blade or a whatever your damage dealing choice move is into Bronzong with Zacian, and then going for a very free Hurricane into Venusaur. So I think what we want to do though is just double max guard, force my opponent to play this game of confusion. So really sort of getting the chip on, especially with no boost. I want to make sure that Bronzong is going to get that KO onto this Bronzong, as we are going to see the Hurricane come out, right? Like it is going to go into the Venusaur. There's really no reason to do anything else. I want to say I can survive a Sacred Sword pretty comfortably, given the amount of HP that I'm at. So I think just doubling up into the Zacian, not doubling up into the Zacian, I do want to split the damage, right? Like if you choose to go for a Protect, that definitely is an option. So I would like to Weather Ball here, as well as, actually, I'm going to Helping Hand. I'm going to Helping Hand my Bronzong for the Body Press onto Zacian. I think that sort of makes the most sense, right? You're going to Hurricane and Sacred Sword, so being able to get the knockout and then play a 1v1 with this Torn, I think is going to be important, as the Sacred Sword going to come out doing more than I would have liked, in all honesty. The Hurricane going to come out into Bronzong, living at 1, so that is absolutely huge, right? Bronzong definitely turning around this game for me, being able to really sort of let us take a bunch of damage. We are going to now be able to go for this Protect and recover up a fair bit and try and make it so you can't... I don't know if I actually have to double... I don't know if I have to double up into the Torn, is the question. I'm going to go for the Weather Ball and the Body Press. I think given how low Torn is, one of these should be able to pick up the knockout, as we are going to see the Hurricane come out into the Venusaur, right? This way, yeah, this way what's going to happen is if Body Press doesn't get the knockout, we do have the ability to go for a Protect to sort of stall things out. So we are luckily just going to... Oh, okay, so you survived too. That is really scary. I think we were at 36. So I actually do not know. Okay, so we both are surviving at 1. I need to go for a Protect here. Just trying to... I think that this should stall out the rain. I'm hoping that it... Okay, stalls out the rain. So it's a 70% chance at this point. With the recovery we have, right? Yeah, it is, I think, going to be a roll. So, moment of truth. I think either way, this was a really scary battle. They are going to miss the Hurricane, so that should really just seal the deal in our favor. So, overall, I think a really good but scary second battle. My opponent definitely played very, very well, and so very glad that we were able to pull that one off. That was a long one, and I think just all things considered, we're going to kind of call it with that. Definitely make sure to check out the team. It's been a lot of fun to use. I'm really glad that I got to learn this new style, and yeah, with that, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.